Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be ranking all of the roses in Garden Warfare 2 after a long awaited time. Happy holidays everyone, and you'll notice on the right of the video I'm hosting a fundraiser. I'm trying to reach $50 for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. The funds will go directly to the hospital. Let's see if we could reach this goal. Anyway, let's move on to the ranking. The first character I'm going to be talking about is the Frost Rose. I think the Frost Rose is the best rose. And the reason for that is the Frost Rose does not need the homing upgrade, as this rose plays more like a standard character than a rose. Now let's talk about the rose class real quick. The roses have really bad mobility as they're not able to get momentum jumping. They are pretty fast, and they have a mediocre ability set. Time Snare is pretty useful and has a good recharge. Arcane Enigma is pretty good, as it allows you to stop fire damage, stall people out, and finish off opponents. It's mainly useful for getting out of scenarios. The Arcane Lotus is also a good ability. The Psychedelic Godify allows you to take zombies off of high ground. Like if there's someone in a bolt blaster on top of a roof, it'll force them to run off. So I think that is the better ability than the regular Godify. The regular Godify is still pretty decent too, but I think the Psychedelic is better. For those who don't know, the roses actually have splash damage. A lot of people don't know how to play the roses up close. The roses have the highest splash DPS in the game, or one of them. All you have to do is look directly down, and you could kill zombies up close, because if you try to kill a zombie up close like this, you're going to have a really rough time. So I'd highly recommend taking advantage of the splash DPS. Roses also do not have a crit multiplier, so it does not matter if you get a headshot with this character. Let's move back to the Frost Rose. So as I was saying, the Frost Rose does not play like the standard rose. It's a charge character. The Frost Rose has a very fast projectile speed. The single charges are good at a mid-length distance, but the main reason I think this is the best rose is because of the charge shots. The tier 2 charges go extremely fast. They have generous splash damage. They do a ton of damage. Like I said, there's no crit multiplier, so you're going to be killing really quickly with this character, and a full charge basically takes no time, and it does 50 damage. This character pairs amazingly with the Time Snare ability. The character is really, really powerful, and I think it is the most viable rose out of all of them. A lot of the roses feel more like characters that are assist characters. This character can stand on its own. So this is by far the best rose in my opinion. The next rose is the neck rose. That's hard to say. The next rose is the neck rose. Fun fact, these cannons in the backyard actually are affected by homing. As you can see, the reticle is turning red. It'll home directly to the cannon for whatever reason, so it's a weird glitch in this game. Anywho, the neck rose is a great character, but it's not the best rose because the character does not really stand on its own as well as the Frost Rose. Yes, you can play the character at a range, but the projectile speed is slower. Splash damage isn't that much, but the reason this character is the second best is because this is the best assist character in the entire game. The Jinx effect is pretty broken. The character has a ton of ammo. The charge shots only take up 4 ammo from your clip. Fast recharge, and of course having homing along with a character with a really good debuff is amazing. But the character does not stand on its own at all. This character is only really good for helping out others. Alright, the next character is one of my favorites, the regular Rose. The regular Rose is a fantastic character. Has a great damage output, is amazing at mid-range. I think this is one of the most underrated characters in the entire game. If you play the Rose properly, you could really have good crowd control, and if you have an above ground advantage, zombies can't really do much. You play your cards correctly as well with the abilities, you can definitely get away and stay alive and get very high streaks. Depending on which arcane ability you're using, both of them pair extremely well with the regular Rose for just avoiding. You don't really want to get up close with this character, but if you do, the splash DPS up close is surprisingly really powerful. Character also has a decent projectile speed, along with having a decent ammo clip and reload. The next character I'm going to be talking about is the Fire Rose. Now the Fire Rose is a little similar to the Frost Rose, but there's one major difference, and that is the projectile speed. The projectile speed for the Fire Rose is much slower than the Frost Rose, as you can see, going from only 1 to 30. So the Fire Rose's projectile speed is 1, and the Frost Rose's projectile speed is 30, so a lot slower. There is a bit of acceleration, but it's still really slow. The reason this character is good, though, is because the Tier 3 shots are surprisingly really powerful from range, as this character doesn't really need homing, since the Tier 1 charges, they're useful in niche scenarios, but they're not very useful. Now the Tier 2 charges are really good as well. As you can see with the Tier 2 charges, it'll shoot out 2 projectiles, which is pretty unique, but they actually do more damage than the standard one. And it's pretty strong to use the second tier charge, but the Tier 3 charge really is good for this character. You could get people hiding behind corners, great defensive character, and great for finishing people off. This is also one of the Imp's worst matchups in the entire game. The character also has a decent reload, and just pairs very well with abilities like the time snare. So you could time snare, and then they'll all be stuck, and then you could do a full charge, and you'll just get them all at the same time. Anyway, the next character is going to be the Druid Rose. The Druid Rose is quite an interesting character. Let's start with the pros. The character has quite a bit of ammo, 30 ammo to be exact. The character is kind of like the regular Rose, except has more ammo, less damage, but has a higher rate of fire, as you can see. The character's homing works really well. The character does struggle a bit up close, in my opinion. All the Roses kind of do, but this one feels worse. The toxic effect is actually very useful on this character, as this character is really good at dealing with groups. Along with the character just overall being decent, I think this character is just outclassed, but in the right hands, it's pretty good. And it's a satisfying character to play, but I do think there has to be some at the bottom, and unfortunately this one is near the bottom. But it isn't the worst Rose, in my opinion. That goes off to, unfortunately, the Party Rose, who is another one of my favorite characters in the entire game. So outside of party mode, this character does 9 damage, compared to the regular Rose, which does 10. If you get the party meter, your damage goes from 9 to 11.9, so basically 12. Majority of the time, you're going to be outside of the party mode with this character. Along with the character being very fragile, it's just kind of hard to get, but you can get it a lot easier if you use the arcane abilities. Unfortunately, though, the character does have less ammo than the regular Rose, going from 20 to only 18. Which is very unfortunate. So requires using a damage homing and reload, so you can't really throw a health upgrade in there unless you switch out the reload upgrade, and you're kind of trading off a mediocre Rose outside of the mode to just a mediocre party mode. This character is a direct downgrade to the regular Rose, in my opinion. The party mode is really fun to use. Like I said, this is one of my favorite characters in the entire game. This is how much fun the character is to play. But unfortunately, this one is not a very well designed character, and I think the stats just speak for that. And just damage alone, this character can't really keep up. Like, comparing the splash DPS from the regular Rose to the party Rose, it goes all the way down to 42. And the regular Rose has almost 50. Along with having more ammo. So up close, the character's worse as well, but the character does have the exact homing range as the regular Rose and the great lock-on angle, along with its activation delay being identical. But the character is still decent. The character, again, Roses have poor mobility, so the legendary mode doesn't really help with that other than armor and speed. Overall, the character is just unfortunately the worst. But that was all my roses. What do you guys think? The roses are maybe my favorite plant class to play. I really do enjoy the roses, especially when I started playing the game again. But yeah, if you guys want to talk more, join my Discord server. Let me know what you guys think about the ranking down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy holidays.